Hi, it's Pastor Trish. It's Tuesday evening. I'm a little late. We were having a few internet issues at our house. I bet I'm not the only one that has to deal with that from time to time. So we'll see if this works. But welcome to just a couple of minutes of devotion this evening. You might remember, if you had tuned in last night, that we are considering that question that we were posed on Palm Sunday as we started thinking about this holy week. And we were asking the question, who is this? Who is Jesus? Who is this man, and what is he up to? And we talked about, last night I told you there's 7 different I am statements that you can find in the book of John. And we talked about one. Tonight I'm going to bring you another I am statement. Last evening, Britta posted that Jesus to her is her friend. And Jesus doesn't say, I am your friend, as one of his I am statements, but I think the one for tonight is probably pretty close to that, and that is, I am the good shepherd. In John chapter 10, Jesus says, I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The shepherd, that image of shepherds, shows up in the Bible regularly. It's an ancient profession. We first meet shepherds in the book of Genesis, and they're still there in the book of Revelation. It's a profession we don't think much about these days, but it's got a long history to it. And so I invite you for a moment to think about what the shepherd does. Works outside in the elements, certainly on beautiful days like today, but on days that are not very beautiful at all. It's probably pretty solitary work. There's lots of boredom, most likely, with that work, probably punctuated by periodic times of adrenaline rushes when they would have to deal with some danger. And certainly it was necessary work. The sheep's lives depended on the work of the shepherd. But I think what's the other interesting piece about that is the sheep didn't necessarily realize how dependent they were on the shepherd. And the sheep didn't acknowledge the work of the shepherd. The shepherd certainly didn't receive gratitude from the sheep for literally keeping them safe and keeping them alive. So if Jesus is our good shepherd, what's it mean, right? That's our question. What does that say about how he cares for us? And what does it say about our response to him as well? If Jesus is our good shepherd, certainly then his essential concern is you and me. His essential concern is us all the time. He never takes his eye off of us. And I wonder, perhaps just like the sheep didn't pay too much attention to the shepherd, I wonder how often we consider the work that Jesus is doing for us and with us all of the time. Do we stop to say thank you to our shepherd? And do we stop to recognize what the good shepherd is doing for us? And maybe the most important question for this evening is, where would we be without the good shepherd? What would our lives be like if Jesus was not a part of our life? So who is Jesus? Jesus is our good shepherd. Please pray with me for a moment. Good and gracious God, our good shepherd, we give you thanks for this day, for the warmth, the beautiful sunshine, and for the new life that exists, that is coming again to fruition even in this time of difficulty and crisis. We give thanks for all those around us who help care for us and keep us safe as well, just as you do, God, or in their own way. We give thanks for those on the front lines with the pandemic, our leaders who are providing guidelines and information, those who are keeping essential services up and running so that we all have our daily needs met. We give you thanks for the ways in which you help us to meet our daily needs. And tonight we just lift up people close to us as well, people who are in need of your love, your comfort, your peace, and your healing. You know who they are, God. We will name them as well in the comments section, and we lift them up before you now in our hearts. Give those that we know and even those that we don't know your healing grace, your mercy, your forgiveness, and your faithfulness. Even as we ask for these things, God, we know that you indeed will provide them because you are our good shepherd. And so we give you thanks and praise, and we join together praying the prayer that you have taught us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever. Amen. Amen. Have a good, restful evening. And tomorrow night, Pastor Janet will share another I am statement with you. Good night.